Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming to the Bull's Head. Oh my God, this is the biggest reading we've ever had.
Yay, Michael!
Well, let me take this opportunity to, before we begin, to say that next Tuesday is Proust Day, Marcel Proust Day here at the Bull's Head from 11 to 1. And you can come and eat Madeleine and drink lime tea. I'm hoping, Jane. and if you say something to us in French, we'll give you a present.
What day was that?
That's Tuesday. And on Wednesday, John McGowan is coming to read at 3:30. I hope he has like a tenth this many people. All right. So, Michael Hanson is the night circulation manager at Davis Library. But that's not all he is. He is so beloved by so many, both on and off campus, both youthful and those richer in years, by artists, documentarian students, cooks, and fellow writers, that we clamored to hear him read from one of his novels, which surely, a publishing house will pick up very soon. Please help me welcome Michael Hanson, the first reader in the Bull's Head's new series, Not Off the Press.
All right, I don't know how to do this, but it's inside the shirt. Sorry. I'm real unrehearsed, guys. Okay. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much for being here. I'm scared to death. I'm just going to tell you that point blank. So if my voice shakes, I am real sorry. But I want to thank first, just before I begin, I want to thank Anushka Brode, George Morgan, and Eric Eisdorfer for having me here. Because it's really, it seems silly, it's small maybe, but this is a dream come true for a guy like me. So I thank you all for making it happen. And Erica Simon, thank you for being here to film it, for my family, and for when I forget that it actually happened. It is wonderful to see all of these faces here. I keep thinking Norman Mailer is going to tap me on the shoulder and say, "Go sit down, man. They're not here for you." So what I've chosen is two sections from the same novel. Can everybody hear me? Yep. Okay. You know, my friend Matt Visitum is an eye doctor, and he told me I would need reading glasses at this point, and he's right. So I know that everybody here will understand and not laugh that I have to wear glasses for my reading. How's that? Rehearsed joke, you know? Okay, that's it. That's the humor episode of today's show. I'm going to read from, this is a long coming-of-age novel called This Sweet Intercourse. And the first thing I'm going to read is the prologue to the novel. So it needs no introduction, because if you picked up the book, this is the first thing you would read, and it wouldn't have an introduction. Hey, Beth, thank you for coming. So I'm just going to dive in. I've never been here before. Ain't that the truth? The building is steeped in cold, dimly lighted, and with few windows, all tinted. Corridors starfish in every direction like a labyrinth inward, seeking a center that isn't there. The biggest building in the world. Given instructions, I take the next right and find myself in a cul-de-sac where 3 rooms cluster next to 2 nurses' stations, one on either side of the hallway. I nod hello to the woman in white seated there skimming a magazine, then walk into the stuffy, airless room where my father lies sleeping, dying. Someone has taken out his teeth, so the lower jaw sinks into his throat, giving his face the awful caved-in look of a corpse. His skin is completely drained of color, lurid and pale as the sheets under which a shriveling body is gathered, his white hair disheveled and unwashed, while whiskers not fit for an adolescent dust his cheeks and, being chinless, throat. No one wants to shave him. The backs of his hands are blued from bloodletting, both arms stained by bruises from all the false starts, and screwed into his side a colostomy bag is bared for all to see. Immediately, instinctively, I begin to cry like a little baby. Don't go, Daddy. Please don't go. My legs feel weak at once, quivery, and in a second's time I realize what an insulated life I've been living despite all supposed reminders to the contrary. But with the help of a healthy body, you can forget anything until real life comes around once more to assert itself, prove it's just as powerful as the imagined one. We should be forced to confront this sooner, I find myself thinking. Take first graders on field trips to the hospital so they can see for themselves what it is they're up against. The bed is on wheels. Bars line both sides and red buttons read push and up, with accompanying arrows pointed in all directions to define the ways in which the miracle mattress can be moved. TV sound issues from a square, hand-sized speaker gripped by the bedridden, or else lying uselessly on a belly, as in my father's case. The picture box itself perched high up in a corner and aimed down ominously at the patient like the crucifix over a Catholic altar. I reached to take the remote so as to switch it off, but his eyes opened suddenly, startling me. "Hey, buddy," I say, hoping he doesn't notice the tears on my face. Without a sound, he stretches a shaking open hand I take gingerly, afraid of his frailty. And once we're joined, his eyes shut slowly and he lets out a long, sad sigh. We're here. Now. When he speaks, it's with the hushed, low-voiced tenor of one who at last has been scared into humility by his surroundings. And I have to lean in close to hear him, close enough to feel funny about it. Needing to urinate, he awkwardly rolls onto his right side with a wide-mouthed plastic urinal while I stare at the television. Goofy commercials jump cutting like crazy, as if fashioned for epileptics, but my eyes nailed to it nonetheless, avoiding the other. And after a few fruitless moments, he says, "The good Lord didn't make me for this." He confesses that in the past 3 hours he's attempted to relieve himself in this manner 4 times to no avail. So now, since I'm there, decides he'll try standing. In order to stand, he must first sit, something the healthy never take notice of. And this costs him nearly 5 full minutes to achieve, even with me helping, the soft-looking mattress seeming to have swallowed his strengthless body. But at last he's upright on the edge of the bed, his legs hanging down, twig-thin and straight as plumb lines. I'm wondering how these wasp-like appendages are going to support him when, without a word, he makes it clear that he needs my help. So I hug him from the front and lift, my bad back searing while he groans his way up and grips his surgery-sutured chest as if to clamp it together where the doctors broke it open. Quadruple bypass. Once we're standing, I steady him with every ounce of strength I possess for fear of us both falling while he does his business, terrified he'll miss his target and soak me, or that I'll break the waste bag, all the while staring at the wall over his shoulder, trying to forget how heavy he feels and wondering what all the switches and buttons are for, marveling at my deep ignorance of the ways of modern medicine. "Oh, come on," he complains to a bloated bladder refusing to release, me realizing with some shame that this is the first time I've hugged my father since I was a small child. I'm counting seconds for the sound of success, but still haven't heard even a trickle when he says to me, "All right." and begins leaning back to the bed edge. Once he's seated, I take from him the urinal in which, to my surprise, 2 inches of cloudy fulvous fluid sloshes, asking stupidly, "Do they need this?" before flushing it down the john for him.